Happy Friday! Today we learned how to graph on a coordinate plane with fractions. And so, just for a little homework help, I am going to do two problems for you, and hopefully this will help you complete the rest of your homework. One of the problems I'm going to do for you is problem number 1. And so problem number 1 says, which point best represents the ordered pair -4, -5 halves? And if you notice that the -5 halves, that is an improper fraction. And when we graph on a coordinate plane, we want to have mixed numbers. So for me to change -5 halves to a mixed number, I am going to divide. Top dog in the house. Because it's a negative fraction, my mixed number that I create is going to also be a negative. And all I have to do is take 5 and divide it by 2. And so how many times does 2 go into 5? 2 times, and then 2 times 2 is 4, with a remainder of 1. 2 is my whole number. The numerator 1 is the remainder 1 is my numerator, and 2 is my denominator. So now all I have to look for is -4, -2.5. So I go over to the coordinate plane. You always start at the origin. And I first am going to go -4. Always do x first. So I'm going to go left to -4, and then I'm going to go down to -2.5. -2.5 is in between -2 and -3, and I can see that that is point T. So my answer is point T. I have just located an ordered pair on a coordinate plane. The next problem that I'd like for you to do for you is problem number 5. Number 5 says, 4 points are graphed on the coordinate grid. Which ordered pair does not appear to be represented by one of these points? So I have 4 answer choices. I have 4 points on my grid. What I need to do in this problem is I need to plot each answer choice on the grid and see which one does not appear on the dot that's already plotted. So I look at A, I see 9 halves 3. I see that that's an improper fraction, so I'm going to want to change that improper fraction to a mixed number. So for me to do that, I'm going to divide top dog in the house. That's a positive fraction, so my mixed number is going to be positive. So I'm going to take 9 and divide it by 2. 2 goes into 9 4 times. 4 times 2 is 8. And when I subtract, I get 1. My whole number is 4. My remainder is my numerator, and my denominator stays the same. So now 9 halves is the same as 4.5. And then I will go 3. So I start here at the origin. I go to positive 4.5, which is to the right, and 4.5 is between 4 and 5. And then I go up 3, because it's a positive 3. That is a point on my grid, so it is not A. I'm looking for the one that is not on the grid. So then I go to B, half, -half. Those are proper fractions. I don't need to do anything to them. I can just graph them. So again, I go to the 0, go to the origin, and I'm going to go positive half. Half is right between 0 and 1. And then I'm going to go down to -half, which is between 0 and -1. And there it is plotted. That is true. Get rid of B. Then I go to C, -4, -3.5. They are not improper, so I can just plot, start at the origin, go to the left, -4, because you always do x before you do y, then go down to -3.5. -3.5 is between -3 and -4, which is right here on the grid. This is true. Get rid of C. The last point is 2.5, 0. Start at the origin. I am going to first go to the x first. So I go to positive 2.5, which is right in between 2 and 3. And then I go nowhere on the y-axis, so I plot my point. There is not a point there. So this one does not appear, so this is my answer choice. That is how you plot on a coordinate plane with fractions. I hope this helps. Have a great weekend. Please complete this paper and we'll check it on Monday.